Hi, it's T with TeaQuilts, and I'm here to do the Scrappy Village quilt block. Yesterday's video, I showed you in Electric Quilt how to make this block in Electric Quilt. So today we are going to do the actual sewing. So in that block, we have two houses that actually make one block, and they're called the Scrappy Village. So therefore, we're going to just make them with scraps. Matter of fact, the more scraps, the merrier. So because we're making two houses, we're going to need two of everything in two different fabrics. So the first thing you're going to need for your house is two pieces that are 2 1/2 by 6 1/2. So you need both of these pieces for one house, and then you need another set for your second house, 2 1/2 by 6 1/2. In addition to that, you need one piece that's 2 1/2 by 3 1/2 for each house. So I will put these pieces aside. The next thing you'll need for each house is two door fabrics. You'll need those pieces to be cut 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. You're also going to need fabrics for your roof. So I have chosen a black and brown to just go with my fabrics. You can choose whatever you want. They can still be colorful as well. I cut these pieces 3 1/2 by 6 1/2. And then for my sky, my background, again, you can make these any color you want. You can make it colorful if you like. I just decided to make them blue like a true sky. So for each one, you're going to need two 3 1/2 inch squares of both fabrics. So I will pause and put on the screen all of the fabric requirements for this block. Also, I will link at the eye above the link to the Electric Quilt lesson where we actually designed this block. So now I just have the sky fabrics here. And on the back of your sky fabrics, you want to draw a line diagonally corner to corner. And I've done that on this piece here. And then because when you cut this off, you'll have this extra piece that you just normally throw away. So I'm going to draw another line 1/2 inch away, and I'm going to actually stitch on both of those lines so that I'll have an extra half square triangle unit I can use in either the border if I was making this quilt as a full quilt top, or you can use them in other projects. So when you draw your lines diagonally on the wrong side, you are then going to take your roof fabrics and you're going to place it on the fabric so that you're making a flying geese. So you place it on your fabric where your square is matching the raw edge, and you're basically making a large flying geese unit, and you're going to sew from corner to corner. And technically that's all the sewing that you really had to do, but I'm also going to sew on this second line to get those extra pieces I just talked about. And so then I will take a different fabric and place it on the other piece to make my flying geese unit. So I'll go sew that and I'll be right back. I'm back and I have sewn on both of these diagonal lines that I drew on the square. So now I'm just going to take a ruler and cut those off. So I'm just going to place my 1/4 inch line on my diagonal line that goes all the way through. And because I put a 1/2 inch space in between, both of my pieces now have a 1/4 inch seam. So I will also do that on this second one. So these are the extra pieces that will be used in another block somewhere. And so then what you want to do now is just finger press these units open. Be very gentle because you are on the bias. And now you want to add your square onto the other side. And your square should meet as a point. So I got the diagonal line toward the inside, and on the outside is where I have the additional piece that I will be trimming off. And we'll do the exact same thing for this rooftop. So I'll go sew those. I will go ahead and trim in between, press those seams open, and then I'll also go ahead and press with my iron. I'll be right back. And I have my flying geese units that are my rooftops completed. I've done the sewing, the cutting, and the pressing. And now I have laid out my pieces for my house. So if we're just looking at one house, you have 4 pieces, those 2.5 by 6.5 inch long pieces, and then 2 pieces that are 2.5 by 3.5. So for this, we're actually going to connect our short pieces together, our door to our house, our center house piece. So I'll sew those and come right back. So here are my 2 units. I'm just going to temporarily finger press these seams toward the house fabric. Now when we sewed those 2 pieces together, it made them the same size as our side house pieces. And so we are just going to flip these pieces over, and then we're going to sew 1/4 inch seam on the long sides. I'll do that and come right back. My pieces are now sewn, and now I just need to finger press those. I'm going to finger press it to the house side. And then you put them back in position just to make sure that everything is lining up like it should. And then we're now going to take our other piece and sew onto the sides. Now this time after I sew, I'm going to finger press, and then I'm also going to take it to my heated iron and press as well. So I'm back with my pieces. As I said, I pressed them with my heated iron. And now at this point, you can decide if you want to switch your sky and roof pieces. If you like. I think I like the black one over on this one, since I have some black in the background of this fabric. And then we're just going to sew these units together. Now you can sew this unit together any way you like. You can sew the flying geese onto the top on both pieces and then sew your center seam. Or you can sew the 2 units, house units together. Then you can sew the 2 roof pieces together and then sew the long center seam. And that's the way that I'm actually going to do it. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I want to sew this seam first and make sure I can get a good flat pressing on pressing that seam open, and then I will go across the middle. So when I sew these 2 pieces together, I'm going to press the seam open, then I'm going to go across the top. I've sewn my 2 roof sections together, and then I've sewn my 2 house sections together. As I stated, I was going to press those seams open, so that's what I did here, as well as on the house pieces. Why do I do that? Because whenever triangle points come together, it just helps to alleviate some of the bulk. You don't have to do that. That's just what I like to do. So now our final seam is we're actually going to line up our seams. Put a pin here to make sure that that point stays, and then we're going to sew 1/4 inch seam, and I'll be back. There you have my completed quilt block. It measures up to 9 1/2 inches by 12 1/2 inch. And then on the back side, you can see where I also just press that same line open as well to alleviate some of the bulk here. And what that does is when you actually get into the middle, it just makes that intersection a little bit more smoother to quilt over. So that's it for this video. I'll take a picture of this completed block and add it at the end of this video. See you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.